12 mind tricks to learn anything fast. You know what's amazing about the human brain? It can take the wealth of information available to us, process it, and then access it at a later time. How extraordinary is that? Though our brains and bodies have evolved, we still seek to surpass our limits. Maybe you want to be a master in your industry. Or you're learning a skill, like how to cook or how to be an entrepreneur. Or maybe need to know how to study a lot in a short time because your midterm is tomorrow morning. With so much to learn in our finite time, it begs the question, how can I learn anything quickly? That is why many people will tell you that learning is frustrating, tiring, and unnecessarily time-consuming. Before you give in to their reasoning, first consider these brain hacks that scientists have proved can help your brain memorize new information faster and expedite your learning process. 1. The sleep sandwich. Imagine you have an important presentation and only one day to prepare. How do you learn a lot of information in the least amount of time? Most people try cramming. They study their notes or review their lines for hours. They'll pull an all-nighter if they have to. But despite all of their hard work, they end up forgetting about 50% of the stuff they wanted to remember. Most of the content they crammed into their head never sees the light of day. Why? Is that because it never finds a place in their long-term memory? You can expose your brain to countless new stimuli, but it only retains a small percentage of them because you need time to store information in your memory. That's the problem with late-night cram sessions. You aren't giving your brain the chance to encode all the stuff that you need to remember. That's the number one reason why scientists recommend the sleep sandwich instead of one long study session. You should study sleep and then study some more. The sleep sandwich is an excellent way to learn faster because sleep helps you retain more information. In fact, storing memories is one of the most important functions of a good night's sleep. While your conscious goes to bed, your unconscious is actively storing all kinds of stuff in your long-term memory. But when you pull an all-nighter, you're preventing your brain from actually learning and retaining those memories. 2. Put everything you learn to good use. Putting what you learn to good use means repeating it in your head over and over, practicing over and over, and talking about it consistently until it sticks to your brain. The more you play an instrument, for example, the more natural it will feel and the faster it will be to learn it. Note that all acquired skills are not equal in this regard. Some are easier to put to good use because you use them every day. Such skills include cooking, interior design, or driving. There are others that will require you to make deliberate efforts to make good use of them. These include negotiation skills, public speaking, or email marketing. You have to create time for those because it will never come naturally. 3. Teach others. There is a saying that if you cannot explain a technical topic to someone in simple terms, then you probably don't understand it well enough yourself. Just like writing and taking notes, explained in more detail below, when you go through the steps of explaining things to someone else, you end up stumbling upon facets of the topic that you yourself may not have been clear on. You're also more likely to run into potential questions that your imaginary student may have, and in doing so, you'll develop a more comprehensive understanding of your topic. 4. Mastery through modification. Have you ever heard of the illusion of mastery? It's a common pitfall that you might run into when learning something new. If you study for a few hours, you get a handle on a few basic tricks and suddenly think you're a master. Learning to draw is a great example. Many people think of themselves as competent artists after one good sketch. They see the quality of their first drawing, and they assume they know everything they need to know. It feels easy, boring even, but just because something feels simple doesn't mean you have it mastered. So, how do you stop yourself from falling into this trap? A great way to really learn any subject is to use modifications. Alright, let's say that you've gotten really good at drawing faces. From the front, it's starting to seem a little stale and you feel like you aren't learning anything. So, it's time to put yourself to the test. Just make a small modification to your original routine, draw a face from a slightly different angle. Yeah, challenge yourself to go faster or use a different drawing tool. Each one of these minor changes plays a critical role. They stop your practice from becoming boring or repetitive. They help you work on your weaknesses, and most importantly, they keep you humble throughout the learning process. 5. Focus on learning 20% of anything, the remaining 80% will come naturally. You only need to learn the most important content within a huge chunk of information, and the lesser important details will come to you naturally. For most topics, the important content accounts for only about 20% of the entire content. This type of study is helpful because it frees up your time and enables you to develop a mental map for an entire course, rather than spend long hours trying to comb every word and sentence within a topic. Besides, it eliminates the need for multitasking, consequently allowing you to focus fully on the meat and potatoes. Studies show that multitasking kills productivity and brings about unnecessary distractions. 6. Chewing gum. Some people chew gum to freshen their breath, others just like that minty, fruity taste. A series of studies found that chewing gum has all kinds of cognitive benefits. For starters, people who chew gum tend to be more alert and experience less stress. This was first discovered by a 2011 study which had people take a number of quizzes in a distracting environment. Under normal circumstances, the chaotic testing room would have thrown people off. It was designed to create anxiety and significantly lower their productivity. But even in that distracting environment, people who were chewing gum stayed more focused and produced less stress-related hormones. In other words, chewing gum helped them stay calm and helped them concentrate. Oh, but that's not all. The 2009 study discovered that the act of chewing makes you more vigilant, and it lengthens your attention span. In 2015, another group showed that chewing gum helps you stay happy and motivated while you work. 2 more studies from the early 2000s found that different flavors of gum actually make your brain more receptive and flexible. Obviously, there are dozens of studies showing the many advantages of this very simple habit. It helps you learn faster, perform better and concentrate longer. So, the next time you sit down to work, don't forget to grab a stick of gum. 7. Don't deal with people who can't help you learn. The signs are clear for a non-teachable person. You will know someone who cannot help you learn or practice your acquired skills from afar. This is someone who does everything for you instead of coaching you on how to do it. Other people won't give you the audience when you want to test some of the information you learned on them. Don't waste your time being around such people. If you've undertaken a life coach training, for example, you need to have a coachable friend who will allow you to test your skills on them. 8. Drink water. A 2012 study discovered that hydration during a test can have a huge impact on your grades. In fact, college students who drank water during their exams performed up to 10% better. That's a full letter grade higher, all because of a few sips of water. Now, of course, hydrating doesn't just affect your test-taking skills. It helps you digest information, store new memories and solve more complicated problems. Why is that? Well, because water keeps your brain functioning like it's supposed to. But here's the best part, there really is no wrong time or place to stay hydrated. Let's say you're sitting down on your couch to enjoy a book. It would only take a few extra minutes to make yourself a cup of tea, but that one cup does a lot more than just keep your body hydrated. Study shows it quickens your short-term memory, strengthens your long-term memory, and it leaves you feeling enthusiastic about learning something new. So, whenever you're studying, reading or even listening to a podcast, grab something to drink. Trust me, your brain will thank you for it. 9. Leverage the power of pen and paper. There is power in writing things out on paper, using a pen. Studies show that typing fast on a phone or computer makes it hard for you to learn as you take notes. Writing by hand, on the other hand, is slow and allows you room to internalize content as you note it down. Your brain actively thinks about a sentence that you memorized in order to put it down on paper, unlike in typing where information is transferred extremely fast from the brain to the keyboard. 10. Speed read. The average person can read about 200 words per minute. That is around 2 minutes per page. Yeah, I know that seems fast, but it's not as impressive as it sounds. In fact, that's the same speed people used to read 100 years ago. But here's the problem, the total amount of information in the world is doubling every single year. So, how do you keep up? The simplest answer is also the best. If you can absorb information faster, you can learn faster. In a matter of weeks, you can teach yourself to read between 700 to 1,000 words per minute. You won't be able to read everything the world has to offer, but you'll definitely blaze through a good chunk of it. 11. The more methods you use to learn, the easier it becomes to comprehend new information. After learning a new skill using one method, it is best to try a different learning technique for the next learning session. If, for example, you summarized your notes last time, try to cram them this time, and then for next time, you can try to use the crammed information to try out the new skill in a practical setup. The more the methods, the easier it is for you to consolidate new knowledge and strengthen your mastery of new skills. 12. Practice in pieces. What happens when you read through all your notes in one sitting? How much do you really remember? Probably a lot less than you hope. The human brain isn't designed to store massive volumes of information at the same time. We can interact with all kinds of stimuli. Every day, you hear thousands of sounds and see millions of shapes, but your long-term memory is a lot slower. That is why practicing in pieces is such an efficient way to learn. Instead of spending a whole day going through all your notes, just go through a few pages each day.